Hollywood is full of loud stars. But what if I told you the quietest one survived a life most people wouldn't survive? Before the fame, before the Matrix, Keanu Reeves lost his child, lost a woman he loved, and walked through grief in silence. He never talked about it. He never asked for sympathy. But the pain changed him forever, and that's why the world can't stop loving him. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Now let's dive into what really happened. No red carpets. No loud interviews. No flashy lifestyle. In a world where fame is often measured by noise, one man chose silence, and somehow became one of the most loved actors on the planet. Keanu Reeves was never supposed to be a Hollywood icon. He didn't chase attention, headlines, or luxury. While others carefully built public images, Keanu quietly stayed in the background, watching the world instead of trying to impress it. That quiet presence, however, hid a story few people ever bothered to look at. Keanu Reeves is not just a movie star. He is a mystery shaped by struggle. Behind his gentle smile and calm eyes is a life marked by instability, pain, and survival. Long before fame, Keanu's world was constantly shifting. Born in Beirut, Lebanon, he spent his early years moving from place to place. Nothing stayed the same for long. Just as he began to understand the meaning of family, his father left, creating a silence that followed Keanu for years. His mother did her best to hold everything together. She worked multiple jobs, moved cities often, and tried to give her children a chance at something better. But the constant change meant Keanu never truly felt rooted. Home was never a place. It was just another temporary stop. School became another challenge. Keanu struggled with dyslexia, making reading and learning feel frustrating and humiliating. Teachers didn't see potential. They saw a problem. Some even labeled him slow, unaware they were speaking to someone who would one day inspire millions. Keanu felt different, misunderstood, and often invisible. But in that silence, something powerful was growing. Keanu wasn't loud. He didn't complain. He watched. He listened. He learned in his own way. While others spoke, he absorbed the world around him. He found comfort in creativity, movement, and imagination, places where he wasn't judged. Deep inside, Keanu carried a quiet determination. He didn't dream of fame. He dreamed of becoming more than his circumstances, more than the labels placed on him. He believed, even when others didn't. At the time, no one noticed. No one applauded. No one predicted greatness. But sometimes, the strongest beginnings are the quietest. And without anyone realizing it, Hollywood's quietest legend was just beginning to take shape. Keanu Reeves' journey in Hollywood did not begin with instant success. In the early years, he struggled quietly, moving from one small role to another, never knowing where the next paycheck would come from. Auditions were filled with rejection. Promises were broken. Some days, acting felt less like a dream and more like survival. Yet Keanu kept going, not because he wanted fame, but because acting gave him purpose. Then, almost without warning, everything changed. Films like Point Break and Speed pushed Keanu into the spotlight, turning him into a rising star. Soon after, The Matrix transformed him into a global icon. His face was everywhere. His name became a brand. Overnight, Keanu Reeves became one of the most recognizable actors in the world, admired for both his talent and his on-screen presence. But while the world celebrated, Keanu felt something very different. Fame didn't bring excitement or joy. It didn't fill the emptiness he carried. Unlike most actors who embrace luxury, Keanu stayed away from the spotlight. He didn't chase expensive mansions or surround himself with crowds. Instead, he traveled alone, used public transportation, and lived simply, as if fame had passed by without changing who he was inside. Then life delivered a pain no amount of success could protect him from. Keanu fell deeply in love with Jennifer Syme. Their relationship was quiet, genuine, and filled with hope. They dreamed of a future together and were expecting a child. But that dream was shattered when their baby daughter was stillborn. The loss was unbearable. Grief entered their lives silently but completely, changing everything. As they struggled to cope with the pain, tragedy struck again. Not long after, Jennifer died in a tragic car accident. In just a short span of time, Keanu lost the two people who mattered most to him. Hollywood never saw him break down. There were no public confessions or emotional interviews. Keanu continued working, smiling for cameras and showing up as expected. But behind the scenes, he was shattered. Fame had arrived, but happiness never did. Most people, after enduring such unimaginable loss, would retreat completely. Many celebrities disappear from the public eye, overwhelmed by grief or pressure. But Keanu Reeves did something entirely different. He didn't vanish. Instead, he transformed the pain into a quiet, remarkable strength, a force that changed not only him, but also everyone around him. Those who worked with Keanu began noticing something rare. He became softer, more humble, and deeply compassionate. Fame didn't corrupt him. In fact, it seemed to highlight his humanity. On film sets, he was generous in ways that often went unnoticed by the media. Keanu reportedly gave away large portions of his own salary to crew members, the costume designers, stunt performers, special effects teams, the people whose names rarely make headlines but whose work makes a movie unforgettable. During The Matrix, for example, he quietly distributed millions of dollars to the stunt and special effects teams, saying, "They made this movie what it is." Keanu didn't crave attention or recognition for his kindness. He lived simply, often unnoticed in public spaces. Fans would spot him sitting alone on park benches, quietly eating a sandwich, traveling without bodyguards, or engaging in small, humble gestures. It wasn't for show. It was just who he was. In a world obsessed with celebrity spectacle, Keanu's normalcy was extraordinary. What is truly remarkable is how his pain shaped him. The tragic losses he endured, the death of his daughter, the loss of his partner, could have left him bitter, angry, or disillusioned. But Keanu didn't let grief destroy his soul. Instead, it softened him, opening a deeper understanding of human suffering. It made him patient, generous, and empathetic to others' struggles. Keanu once said, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends." And that is the essence of how he lived. He didn't hide from sorrow. He carried it quietly, with dignity and resilience. Every act of kindness, every humble gesture, every moment he spent off-screen was a testament to a man who allowed pain to refine him rather than define him. In an industry filled with ego and spectacle, Keanu Reeves became a rare symbol of humanity, a man whose fame never overshadowed the quiet compassion that made him a legend. In an industry built on egos, flashiness, and constant attention-seeking, Keanu Reeves stood apart. While many actors sought fame for recognition or status, Keanu quietly became one of the most respected and beloved figures in Hollywood. Not because of the movies he made, but because of the person he was off-screen. Keanu treats everyone with the same respect, whether it's a fan, a waiter, or a co-actor. He listens more than he speaks and approaches life with a humility rarely seen in Hollywood. Scandals, controversies, and self-promotion hold no appeal for him. He doesn't claim to be perfect, and he never pretends life is easy. This authenticity, acknowledging pain, loss, and loneliness, resonates deeply with millions of people around the world who see themselves in his struggles. Fans often tell stories about meeting him. He always asks permission before taking photos or signing autographs, respecting personal boundaries in a way most celebrities ignore. In interviews, he deflects praise, giving credit to his coworkers, crew members, and collaborators. Keanu's honesty and humility are rare commodities in a world that values glamour over substance. People don't just admire him for his acting. They admire him for the way he carries himself quietly and with integrity. Then came John Wick. The film not only revived his career, but also revealed something profound. You don't need to shout, brag, or fight for attention to be strong. Keanu trained relentlessly for the role, respecting every stunt coordinator, fight choreographer, and team member. He performed his own stunts with precision and discipline, showing once again that true dedication comes from respect and humility, not ego. The internet noticed. Fans around the world began sharing memes, calling him the internet's boyfriend. But the admiration goes far beyond humor. Keanu Reeves became a symbol of quiet strength, a reminder that kindness, hard work, and humility can be more powerful than wealth or fame. He showed that success does not have to corrupt you, and that compassion can coexist with excellence. In a world obsessed with shouting for attention, Keanu Reeves whispers a different message. Live simply, treat people with respect, stay true to yourself, and let your actions speak louder than words. That's why the world started loving him, not just as an actor, but as a human being worth looking up to. Keanu Reeves is not famous because he is loud. He is loved because he is real. In a world where celebrity is often measured by extravagance, scandal, and spectacle, Keanu's appeal is quiet, human, and deeply genuine. He reminds us that greatness doesn't have to announce itself. Sometimes, it simply exists in the way someone treats the people and the world around them. He teaches lessons without saying a word. Kindness doesn't need cameras. Strength doesn't require arrogance. And pain, no matter how deep, doesn't have to destroy a person. It can shape you, refine you, and give you the capacity to connect with others on a deeper level. Keanu's life is proof of this philosophy. He has experienced unimaginable tragedy, yet he continues to live and give in a way that inspires millions. Despite his wealth and fame, Keanu lives modestly. He rides public transportation, eats quietly in cafes, and avoids unnecessary attention. Despite being one of the most famous actors in the world, he remains grounded, approachable, and remarkably humble. Despite the heartbreaks that have marked his personal life, he continues to move forward, silently carrying the weight of loss with dignity. Keanu once said, "The simple act of paying attention can take you a long way." Perhaps that is the secret to his extraordinary life. He pays attention to people, to pain, to humanity. He notices struggles, celebrates small victories, and acknowledges the quiet contributions of those around him. In doing so, he transforms ordinary acts into extraordinary ones, leaving a legacy that goes far beyond the screen. In an industry obsessed with noise, spectacle, and ego, Keanu Reeves chose silence. In a world that rewards arrogance and self-promotion, he chose humility. And in a life filled with heartbreak, loneliness, and profound loss, he chose kindness, not for recognition, not for fame, but simply because it was the right thing to do. That is the untold life behind Hollywood's quiet legend. A man who could have let fame and fortune define him, but instead allowed his pain to teach him empathy, his struggles to teach him humility, and his experiences to teach him how to live with quiet dignity. Keanu Reeves is not just a star on the screen. He is a guiding example of what it means to be truly human.